Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video we're gonna talk about a very interesting topic. How long does the sexual intercourse should last? Also, we're gonna talk about a very interesting point, the orgasm in the female and males. Why some women do not reach the orgasm, why some men cannot please their wives. Okay, actually we're gonna use this simple 3D model I created by myself, except the pelvis because somehow complex, so I got it from a website for free, but I created all the other parts. Let's see, this is the female reproductive system. Okay. Okay, this is the 3D of it. Is a very simple model. So let's see here. This is a 2D section, the female reproductive system. We all, each one we have here, we all know these fundamentals from the school. So we have here, this is the vagina, and here is the cervix of the uterus, and here is the ovary, and here is the uterine tube. Okay, and the clitoris, and we all know these things, but now we're gonna see these things in the 3D, and we have the bladder. So this is the bladder. It's a very simple way of modeling, and so let's see. Here is the vagina. Okay, this is the vagina. Here is the vagina opening, and here is the anus. So this is the anus where poop comes out of the body, and we have here, this is the vaginal opening. We're gonna talk about these things later, but today we're gonna talk about the main point, the orgasm. We have here, this is the vaginal opening, and we have here the vagina. Okay, so during the intercourse, actually the man insert his penis into the vagina here, and here is the cervix. As you can see, this is the cervix. Here is the vaginal opening, and here is the urethra. Okay, and the ejaculation actually occurs here. Suppose that the ejaculation of the sperm, of the semen, occurs at the cervix. Okay, here is the cervix. The man insert his penis here and ejaculates here. Okay, so what's going on? What is the orgasm, and why some women do not reach the orgasm? Okay, so let's talk about these things in detail. So the orgasm in men and women, what is going on? So let's start. So missing the big orgasm, why? So the expectations, if you expect to have an orgasm but you do not reach it, of course this is so depressing. And the communication, we're going to talk about communication and the method of reaching that. So what to do is experimenting. The sexual intercourse, actually some couples think that it is like the relationships between a man and a woman, and it will be very easy from the first time, but actually this is not correct. You have to carry out experiments with your partner until you know how to please each other. Okay, so experimenting, it's like buying a new device or new machine. You must read the catalog and you must know how to use this machine and to optimize its performance. So the communication is the key. Tell your partner what you want, how and where. This will really help. Okay, I got these things from healthline.com. Actually, it is a very useful website. I'm gonna talk about this later. So this guarantees the maximum pleasure. When you tell your partner, when you open a conversation between you and your partner, really this helps. This can be done by conversation. So the experimentation, like what I have just said. So by the way, if you and your partner are not compatible, if you are dating and you're not compatible, you do not have the same ideas, you do not have the same way of thinking, so of course you will not reach any orgasm after marriage, or you cannot have sex and feel good. Why? Because every person has his or her way of having the pleasure or having sex. It is not the same thing between everybody. Okay, every person has his or her way. So before having sex and thinking about the orgasm, you have to choose or select your right partner who thinks like you, who agrees, who enjoys his time or her time with you. And then we can talk about the sexual relationships, because it does not work if you are very different. Okay, so it is difficult to reach the sexual pleasure period if you do not have any compatibility. So the G-spot, what is the G-spot? It is located about an inch or so inside the vaginal opening on the upper vaginal wall, closest to the belly button. Okay, so let's see this. So here is the vagina, here is the vaginal opening. Okay, this is the vaginal opening. Okay, where the man inserts his penis into this vagina. Okay, around an inch from the vaginal opening, let's say here, there is a G spot. Okay, at the upper wall. So let's continue. So the G-spot is sexually sensitive and swells slightly during arousal and feels raised or pumpy. Although all women have this tissue, some like their G-spots to be stimulated and others do not. Okay, or don't. Some like their G-spots to be stimulated and others don't. And many notice no difference in sensation one way or the other. Okay, many women have orgasms and about 10% ejaculate when their G-spots are stimulated. Anyway, the G-spot is one of the ways to give your wife the sexual pleasure by hitting it with your penis or by your fingers. Anyway, it is a very good way to give the pleasure. So the female orgasm phases, we have here 4. It starts with the excitement. So before talking about the orgasm, you cannot talk about the orgasm before talking about the excitement and the plateau and then orgasm and then the resolution. So the excitement of women, so when a woman is stimulated physically or psychologically, the blood vessels within her genitals dilate. It will be full of blood. So this is the first thing you do, is by telling her the romantic words she loves, touching her sensitive body parts. Okay, we all know these things. So this is the excitement. You must do these things, and also you have to ask your wife what you want. So increased blood supply causes the vulva to swell. and fluid to pass through the vaginal walls, making the vulva swollen and wet. So internally, the top of the vagina expands. So as you can see, the top of the vagina expands. Why? Because it is the next step, okay, or it prepares itself for the inserting your penis. And also heart rate and breathing quicken and blood pressure increases. Blood vessel dilation can lead to the woman appearing flushed, particularly on the neck and chest. She will look red, okay? So all these things only happen just for the excitement, okay? After the excitement. As blood flow to the introitus, the lower area of the vagina reaches its limit. It becomes firm. Breast can increase in size by as much as 25% and increase blood flow to the areola. The area surrounding the nipple causes the nipples to appear less erect, okay? So the clitoris pulls back against the pubic bone, seemingly disappearing. So now what actually happens during an orgasm? Okay, now, so this is the third phase. The orgasm is not the first phase, it is the third phase. And you cannot reach it without the other first and second phases, okay? You cannot jump, actually. This causes problems. So the vagina, uterus, and anus, and sometimes other body parts like hands, feet, and abdomen contract rapidly from 33 to 15 times. So during the intercourse, now the penis is inside the vagina. The woman will feel contractions, okay, in the uterus, here, and vagina, and the anus, okay, contractions. This is very usual. So the vagina, uterus, and anus. By the way, the man will feel it here. He will feel the contractions around his penis, or his penis starts getting squeezed, okay, because of the contractions in the vagina. So the genital muscles, including the uterus and introitus, experience rhythmic contractions around 0.8 seconds apart. The female orgasm typically lasts longer than the male at an average of around 13 to 51 seconds. And here is the issue, gentlemen. This is the main topic of this video. The female orgasm typically lasts longer than the male at an average of around 13 to 51 seconds. So again, now, after inserting the penis and after the excitement and the two, okay, now the male or the man starts ejaculation, the ejaculation here at the cervix, okay. At this point, the female, the vagina, uterus, and anus, okay, contract rapidly. Actually, when it contracts, this is the cervix. When it contracts, what happens here? So this cervix is actually, notice this. We suppose that the ejaculation happens here. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Open this in Paint. Yes. Yeah, this is very good. Suppose that the semen. So here is the ejaculation. Okay, the ejaculation here, the sperm or the semen here. The male is ejaculating here. During the orgasm, contractions happen to the uterus, the anus, and the vagina. Okay, so during this, notice here the contractions or the contraction of the uterus, what happens next after the contraction of this part? The semen is sucked towards the uterus. Okay, there is suction here. So this is the main orgasm, or this is the cause of the female orgasm, the contractions that suck the sperm ejaculated here. Okay, so again, it's like the pump, and here is the suction of the pump. Ejaculation occurs here at the cervix, and then because of the contractions, the muscles here suck the sperm, ejaculated sperm, and let it go to the uterus. Okay, why? To reach the fallopian tube here to fertilize the egg. So the primary function of the uterine tubes is to transport sperm toward the egg, which is released by the ovary, and then allow passage of the fertilized egg back to the uterus for implementation. So during the orgasm, okay, the suction occurs. This is the cause of the orgasm, or the vaginal orgasm. Of course, God created this to make the lady get pregnant. Okay, so of course, if your woman or your wife does not reach this period or the orgasm, of course she will not like the intercourse, or some women, if they do not get pleased, they avoid having sex with men. So the suction of the semen is related to the orgasm because of the contraction. It's like the pump that suck, and here is the suction of the pump. Okay, so this is the orgasm. So the issue now is the women take longer time to reach the orgasm or to have contractions. It takes more time than men. So now that's why the issues start. Okay, so let's continue here. I'm gonna talk about this. So after the female orgasm, suppose that she reached the orgasm, the resolution, the body gradually returns to its former state with swelling reduction and the slowing of pulse and breathing. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the male orgasm phases. It is not like women, especially timing. The excitement when a man is stimulated physically or psychologically, he gets an erection. Blood flows into the corpora, the spongy tissue running the length of the penis, causing the penis to grow in size and become rigid. The testicles are drawn up toward the body as the scrotum tightens. And here's the plateau as the blood vessels in and around the penis fill with blood, the glands and testicles increase in size. In addition, thigh and buttock muscles tense, blood pressure rises, the pulse quickens, and the rate of breathing increases, like the woman. So what happens during a male orgasm? Semen, a mixture of sperm 5% and fluid 95%, is forced into the urethra by a series of contractions. Again, we're talking about the contractions. So the contractions are related to the orgasm in male and a female. In the pelvic floor muscles, prostate gland, seminal vesicles, and the vas deferens. Contractions in the pelvic floor muscles and prostate gland also cause the semen to be forced out of the penis in a process called the ejaculation. The average male orgasm lasts for 10 to 30 seconds. Okay, while the wife or the female takes a longer time, it may take 5 minutes or more. Okay, it depends on your wife because not all women are the same. Okay, so as you can see, it's just 10 to 30 seconds. That's why when a male reaches this period, what happens? The man now enters a temporary recovery phase where further orgasms are not possible. That's why they get out of the vagina. Why they stay? There is no reason, because the male resolution phase has just started. Just takes 10 to 30 seconds for the orgasm, and then no solid reason to stay inside the vagina. So the man now enters a temporary recovery phase where further orgasms are not possible, and its length varies from person to person. It can last from a few minutes to a few days, and this period generally grows longer as the man ages. So during this phase, the man's penis and testicles return to their original size. Okay, so again, the female takes a longer time. She is not having her orgasm now. She has not reached her orgasm yet, while her husband is pleased and is very happy to have his orgasm. So this is the issue. Okay, so if this happens, if the man takes the 30 seconds and then he gets his penis out of her vagina, the female really does not feel any good. Why? Because again, here is the one of the main issues. Remember that the increased blood supply causes the vulva to swell and the fluid to pass through the vaginal walls, making the vulva swollen and wet. Internally, the top of the vagina expands, heart rate and breathing quicken, blood pressure increases. Here is one of the main issues. So blood vessel dilation can lead to the woman appearing flushed. So the plateau is a blood flow to the introitus. The lower area of the vagina reaches its limit. It becomes firm. Breast can increase. Okay. So now the blood vessels are full of blood. Okay, and she needs to return back because this is not normal. Okay, she has to return to her original. So the body gradually returns to its former state with swelling, reduction, and a slowing of pulse and breathing. But what if she does not reach her orgasm? You cannot let her reach the resolution without reaching the orgasm. Of course, this affects the lady very badly. This is what I'm talking about. The man is very pleased, but she does not reach her orgasm, of course, and this leads to not reaching the resolution or the happiness case or the former state. Feels calm and happy. Of course, this does not happen. As you can see here again, so let's see again what we talking about. We have here the blood vessels during the orgasm. Let's see. The contractions happen for the uterus, the vagina, and the pelvis and the anus. All these parts contract to suck the semen, and this is the orgasm. And as you can see, we have here veins and arteries. These veins and arteries are full of blood once she reaches the excitement and the plateau. During the orgasm, these things contract, and then after the orgasm, they go back to their former state. Okay, but if she does not reach the orgasm, she does not have this thing. Okay, of course, this really affect her badly. Why? Because she will feel pain in the pelvis and the anus and in her veins and arteries, because you have to let her discharge her energy that you give her. Okay, so now we know what happens. So the solution of this is just take your time. For a man, you just take longer time. Do not ejaculate and leave your wife. Just put your penis, do not let it get out. And you have to encourage your man more not to leave you. You have to increase the time, okay? It lasts longer. So, gentlemen, not reaching the orgasm leaves your wife in a very bad mood, and having sex with her really hurts and leaves her in a very painful state. Why? Because the orgasm is necessary to then to recover or to go to the resolution state. This is necessary. So you reach your orgasm and you finish quickly while she's trying to reach her orgasm. Okay, so now let's understand more about the male orgasm types. Orgasm and ejaculation often happen simultaneously, but they are actually two separate events that do not necessarily have to happen at the same time. So again, you do not need to expel semen to have an orgasm. Some men think that the orgasm is just means ejaculation, but this is not correct. It is related really to the contractions that happen to your penis. Okay, we talked about the contractions. It is related to the orgasm, not the ejaculation. Not everyone ejaculates with orgasm, and even those that do may not ejaculate every time. This is also referred to as the dry orgasm. Unless you and your partner are trying to conceive, in which case you should see a doctor. Dry orgasms are usually harmless and just as enjoyable as an ejaculatory orgasm. So we see here the glands and the foreskin. So the orgasm in a man or a male, actually it is related to the contractions in these areas. It does not really mean ejaculation. So you have to know with your wife how to reach this, but gradually, not 10 to 30 seconds and then you leave her. No, just take longer time. Try to take a longer time and to have to avoid the premature ejaculation. So just one more notice, but not everybody experiences sex and orgasm the same way. So you have to ask your partner, like what I have said in the beginning of this video. Do not tell your friends about your intercourse or your sexual relationship with your wife, because they will differ from you. Okay, sex does not have a manual. That's why exploring in the moment and finding what your body loves is absolutely the key. So we're talking here about the ejaculation, and you have to last longer with your wife. So this can be done by many ways. So first of all, you have to know about the best sexual positions suitable for you. There are lots of sexual positions, but it cannot do all of them. Why? Because one of the most important things is your penis type. As you can see here, here is before ejaculation or before the excitement. Okay, so if your penis is curved downward, it is not like curved upwards, and it is not like not curved type. Okay, so for example here we have talked about lasting longer. You have to last longer. Okay, and this of course needs to try comfortable positions, because if you are not comfortable or you're having sex in discomfort mode, you cannot last longer. Okay, so for example, so here is the normal. Here is the female is standing up. So if your penis is curved upwards, something like that. Okay, of course it is very suitable for you to have sex in a standing up position or the missionary position. Okay, however, if it is curved downwards like this, Of course, it is impossible to have sex in a standing up position or the missionary position. So what you have to do is to try the dog style, where you come from behind. She becomes like this, and your penis will easily be like this. So this is the doggy style for the curved downwards penis. Okay, and so on. You have to know what is the suitable position for you. This is the standing up, and here is the doggy style. So we have talked about sex. It is does not have a manual. You have to experiment with your partner. However, you have to know which sexual position is suitable for you. We have here two books. Actually, it's very simple with cartoon pictures. It is not real. It is not a real picture. Sex positions illustrated 101 hot positions you can do right now. So by Donna Evans. Really, it is a very amazing book. Okay, you will find lots of positions with the cartoon pictures. Do not get the books that have real pictures, because it's considered pornography, and pornography has nothing to do with any scientific knowledge. Any sex scene in movies or pornographic materials itself, hardcore pornography or softcore pornography, these materials are really very damaging to the brains. It was scientifically proven by the researchers. They have nothing to do with any scientific knowledge like what we have just shown you. Okay, there is another book, is 126 sex positions guaranteed to spice up your bedroom. Okay, this is another book. So you have to get these books, and you have to learn and read the articles published on the research websites or simple websites. Please do not watch pornography. It has nothing to do with any sexual knowledge. Okay, so the research here, let's continue. Research has shown that orgasms are also not widely considered to be the most important aspect of sexual experience. One study reported that many women find their most satisfying sexual experiences involve a feeling of being connected to someone else, rather than basing their satisfaction solely on orgasm. It is not a physical relationship for a woman. It's just a way of the connection. One last thing is the sounds. Does a woman make sound? Women sounds during sex. Okay, so the researchers found that many of the women did make noise, but not necessarily while they were having an orgasm. Instead, 66% said that they moaned to speed up their partner's climax, and 87% stated that they vocalized during sex to boost his self-esteem. Okay, so it is not like what you watch in pornography or the explicit scenes in Hollywood movies. You see women moaning and sometimes screaming, and this actually has nothing to do with the orgasm. By the way, they may faking it to give you a positive feeling, but actually this is not good at all the time, because you think that you're doing well and you're not doing well. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this video was about the orgasm in male and female. I wish this helps you. I hope it helped you. As you can see, we have here the 3D model. The contractions occur or happen during the orgasm of the female, and this leads to the sucking of the semen. Okay, she must reach this phase because after that she reaches the resolution phase. Okay, so you have to stay inside of her vagina until she reaches that contractions and tells you that I'm feeling amazing and I'm very good and let's do it again. And thank you very much. I hope this helps you. Please read, please try to learn, please try to avoid pornography. Pornography has nothing to do with any useful knowledge related to sex. Okay, we may make other videos. We're going to talk about something related to the female reproductive system and the sexual intercourses. So thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.